Happy New Year, and thanks so much for being with us today on Double T Insider. I'm Taylor Peters alongside Robert Giovanetti. Really exciting Sunday for Texas Tech basketball, the men and women in a doubleheader of action, and it would bring a pair of wins. And Gio, we'll start with that victory for the men over CSU Bakersfield, a really, really good basketball team who certainly was a challenging opponent for Tech.
Coach Beard talked about it after the game that it's easy to look ahead to the Big 12 schedule, and you got Kentucky in January and overlook Bakersfield, and he said his team did a really good job of focusing on, hey, here's today's opponent. They're a tough opponent. They played a lot of Power 5 schools, and they gave the Red Raiders all they wanted early on. Absolutely
they did. And Coach Beard told his team during shoot-around, we have to approach this like a Big 12 game against a Big 12 caliber opponent. And he even compared Bakersfield to the likes of Baylor, West Virginia, and even Kansas in their ability to rebound the basketball. And so definitely a good win for Texas Tech as they head on into Big 12 and they host Oklahoma State coming up on the 4th.
Yeah, Bakersfield very well coached. Their head coach had some experience in the Big 12 as an assistant. You could see that the way they ran their sets, the way they played defense, the way they crashed the boards. So again, you're right. You got this big game next Saturday to open up Big 12 play. That's probably a really good tune-up for the Red Raiders.
And the Lady Raiders would go undefeated in their non-conference slate. They moved to 11-0. There's only 8 other teams in college women's basketball who are who are undefeated right now. A huge feat for this Lady Raider program, and especially Coach Marlene Stallings in her second season.
You can see what Coach Marlene has done is build a schedule that was challenging enough, but that should be able to give your team some confidence. You've got so many new players. You're trying to mix so many new kind of people into the mix. Great start. I mean, it can't be any better than where they are right now.
A great non-conference for Lady Raider basketball and a pair of good wins for Texas Tech. Still to come on Double T Insider, we celebrate a handful of student athletes who walked the stage to earn their degree.
Thank you and congratulate you and wish you the best as you move forward. As you know, once you're part of our family, you are always part of our Fearless Champion family.
As you saw there, so many of our student athletes had a chance to be honored before the crowd at the women's basketball game. And you know, a lot of times these student athletes don't always get a chance to walk the stage, but it still means something for them to be recognized in what they've done here.
It certainly does. And what we did the other night in that game, Greg Glaus and his staff in the academics services do such a fantastic job of staying with these kids and keeping them on track, to graduate. And we're seeing it across the board. Record GPAs, record graduation rates here in the department. We're very proud of these student athletes.
Absolutely, and we're proud of obviously the work that they've put in, but it means something to these young men and women. It means something to their families too. So for us to be able to celebrate them in any way that we can, we absolutely want to do that. Congratulations to all of our student athletes.
Came here summer 2016, honestly, not knowing what direction I was going to go. All I knew is I was going to make the most out of these 4 years, and I was very fortunate to have the right kind of guidance that I needed when I got on campus, from the academic side as well as the athletic side, to kind of make sure that I needed to be in the right place in 4 years to where I wanted to go where I wanted to go.
My schedule being in fashion at first was very difficult because actually being in the fashion program is like doing another sport. And so I had to have time for that, I had to have time being an athlete, going to practice, being dedicated to practice. It was fun, so that's what made it easy.
I got to go to school on a full scholarship. I got to play the game that I love and come out with a top-tier degree from a top university.
I'm gonna say it was tough. It was difficult. It was time-consuming. There was some time that you just want to give up. You just want to be like, I can't do this anymore. But sometimes when you just sit there and when you look at the goals you've set for yourself and all of that, so you just have to keep on pushing through.
Having the opportunity to be around 20 girls each year that are just fantastic people, and those are for sure lifelong friends. I think it's so important for me because education is my #1 priority, because after your career as an athlete, you're gonna have something to fall back to, because you're not going to run all the days of your life. So my education, I want my degree, I want to have my certificate with me, so after my track career,
I'm gonna have something.
I know this is pretty cliche, but the experience of the locker room, it's second to none. You'll never have that diverse of a group ever again, that you're all working for a common cause. You put everything that's different about you aside and you're all working together and you hold each other accountable, and you win together and you lose together, and there's a feeling of connection that is unreplicated anywhere else in life. That's an experience that made mine special. Absolutely, every single time I get to practice or lift or even eat lunch with these guys, it's honestly truly a privilege and a blessing.
And Gio, did you see pictures of Sydney Goodson? She actually walked the stage. She came straight from practice, walked the stage in her Under Armour basketball shoes and her practice jersey.
That's the epitome of student athlete right there.
She said she wouldn't have had it any other way. We'll talk more Lady Raider basketball coming up next on Double T Insider.
Today we got the opportunity to work with the Buckner organization. We got to bless a mom and 3 cute kids for Christmas this year.
Like your Bible? You want over here? You got your Bible?
Here we go. Ready to open the next one?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, girl.
Well, with the completion of fall classes, these student athletes have a lot more free time, maybe a little bit more free time on their hands, and the Lady Raider team wanted to be able to help provide a local family a good Christmas this year.
I love that about all of our teams, what they do in the community and how they get out there and help and give back to this community that's given so much to love it to us here at Texas Tech as well.
Absolutely, and I mean, it meant a lot to that family too.
Yeah.
And 2 of those young girls go to school in LASC, and so they were able to be here for Education Day to watch the players that helped give them those Christmas presents, which is really special.
And how great is Education Day, where you get a lot of these kids who typically don't have exposure to the arena, to campus, to Texas Tech, to have a day like that. It's always fun.
And Coach Marlene said that too. We love the opportunity to get to give this experience to these kids who may not have a chance to be able to come watch us play. And it was the biggest crowd of the year for the Lady Raiders, and those kids were able to help give them a victory on Education Day. Such a fun day is Education Day. Well, still to come on Double T Insider, we're featuring newcomer Jonna Johnson for Lady Raider basketball. Welcome back into Double T Insider. You know, this Lady Raider basketball team all year has been led by their newcomers, and Jonna Johnson is really at the center of that.
Interesting to watch, and again, seeing them in practice, that she seemed to catch on really early what Coach Marlene wants and looks for, and how she's trying to run this offense, and she's been an integral part of that.
She is so fun to watch, too. I mean, she's fast and quick. She makes some really exciting plays. She averages 10 points a game, and she has started in every single game this year for the Lady Raiders.
Fans in general don't really know much about you before this, but what did you think you showed that really represents who you are, and what can you build on from that performance?
I feel like I showed my heart, like my love for the game, honestly.
Boogie will do just that down the floor. Oh, what a Euro step floater, good! Top of the baseline, and it's intercepted by Boogie Johnson. And
I feel like I'm fun to watch. Aggressive, fast. I say flashy a little bit.
Johnson trying to boogie around her man. Oh, beautiful pump fake, turn around, score!
I think it allows us to play more of the up-tempo, but under control. I know she wants to play fast. I know she wants to get the ball up and down the court, but it's still controlled. So I think it allows us to do that a little bit more.
Johnson for 3.
it up into the front court, gets around Cook all the way. Scoop layup, good. Right hand all the way. Boogie right to left, lays it in.
I just want to be basically a team player, just be able to produce, to give my teammates the ball, set them up for good opportunities, as well as I know they're going to set me up for good opportunities.
Sydney, dribble drive, probes the baseline underneath. Back out Johnson, right side three. Yes, ma'am.
And on my visit, they all gave me a family vibe, and you can tell it was genuine. You can tell this just wasn't a show. You can tell it just wasn't, oh, let's hurry up and get her. Like, you know, it was a family vibe, and that was really appreciated when I came on visit.
So many exciting things to come for Jonna Johnson. Well, still to come on Double T Insider, we revisit some of the most exciting moments from this decade. We'll be right back. Welcome back into Double T Insider. Conference play starts for Lady Raider basketball as they host Iowa State January 3rd at 7 o'clock.
Red Raider basketball begins conference play as well Saturday morning at 11 o'clock at the United Supermarket Arena. They will host Oklahoma State, and then on Tuesday night will host Baylor. The Oklahoma State game will be an 11 a.m. tip. Baylor will be an 8 o'clock tip at the United Supermarket Arena.
That's all of our time for now. Thanks so much for being with us today on Double T Insider, and Happy New Year from Robert Giovanetti and myself and all of us here at Double T Insider. We will leave you with some of the most exciting moments from the last 10 years.
To the final second. Daggy going to the end zone, wanting more and getting it. Oh my, touchdown.
No signal yet.
Swindle thought he had his foot down, and he did. Tremaine Swindle and Dan is saying, that's how I taught the kid. 4 touchdown passes for Seth Daggy.
This is an unbelievable throw.
Being a catch, might have been a break for Texas Tech. Now wide open, the tight end, Amaro, touchdown, Jace Amaro.
This is a mismatch. We have Amaro on Snow's 240 pounds, not the fleetest of foot. It's just a good read by Daggy.
Floater towards right center, it carries well, a diving catch! Devin Conley with a play of his life! And it's still 1-0. Wow. Hashtag SC Top 10.
Murphy's going to try and propel him on a free kick. Launched in from deep. Scott backpedals and it's in the back of the net. From midfield, Ali Murphy connects and Texas Tech leads 2-1.
And just absolutely nutted this one over the top of the goalkeeper's head. Scott realized all too late and couldn't get back in time to tip it over the crossbar.
They go with a goal, chicanery to Grant. A flea flicker, Bomarewski style, touchdown.
Picks it up on a bounce. He's racing for second. Throw! Out in second! And Texas Tech wins it! Tyler Nesloni guns down Jonathan India, and that's the ball game. First win in program history at the College World Series.
With the 10th pick in the 2017 NFL Draft, the Kansas City Chiefs select Patrick Mahomes, II, quarterback.
is Patrick Mahomes the second, not Deshaun Watson. That was the apple of the Reed Dorsey eye in Kansas City. That's the quarterback of the future that they're putting the eggs in the Mahomes basket in the heartland for the Chiefs.
Evans trying to track it down. It's deflected to the backcourt, and Texas Tech has it.
No, he didn't. How did he do that?
Zaire Smith. Magical.
Even the Stephen F. Austin fans are up cheering that one.
And they're doing the right thing if you're the Red Raiders. Running the clock down. There's
Evans robbing for Zaire Smith as he brings this defense to its knees one more time.
And Lippett lifts this one to left. This will push Little back. Oh, what a catch! Grant Little goes Superman onto the track on a ball that just kept carrying into the corner.
The second-round pick of the San Diego Padres, a high school shortstop showing you some athleticism, some range, and you better tag that one. That's a Sports Center top 10. He wakes the crowd up with a top-shelf play.
Atmosphere and do what they just did. Texas Tech secures at least a share of the Big 12 title. In celebration in Ames for the Red Raiders.
Outside, Hachimura rejected by Owens. He's got 4 blocks. That was sensational.
Guys, this is the play of the tournament. This is unbelievable athleticism.
Culver got the separation. Oh, big shot. Step it up big time. Dagger. Sideline. Some early onions, Jim. Bang.
Popped up. Trevor Boone back. It's more than a pop-up. It's a big fly. Tech takes the lead. There he goes, and the pitch is driven high and deep to right. Kirsten to the wall, off the top of the fence. Here comes the big fella. Cameron Warren's going to motor home for first. Throw to third is late, and the Red Raiders have reclaimed the lead. Driven to the gap in right center field. Hoyt and Noisy chasing, and it's a diving catch by Dylan Noisy. A run-saving grab.
Sanchez back to the mound, soaked to first, and that's it. Texas Tech has forced a Game 7.
Oduduru out much better today. Trayvon Gillespie right there in the all-yellow and orange. Here comes Divine Oduduru. It's Oduduru. He's going to win the front end of the double. 10 points for Texas Tech.
And the fastest time of the season, 9:86.
And if you missed any part of today's show, head on over to texastech.com or download the Texas Tech TV app on Apple TV and Roku.